Okay, finishing up this point-to-point race here. These races don't feel super long, but they managed to take up an episode pretty effectively. Got all these things loading. You can see the game working. I'm hearing stuff from outside, but I'm not seeing stuff outside. I can also appreciate that these point-to-point races are... Whoops, actually I skipped that for a little bit. But, I can appreciate that these point-to-point races are also a very, like... It's taking advantage of the medium a bit in the sense that they're very plainly fantastical. They're not a thing that you could do in real life. And that, lets you see a thing that you won't get to see in real life. And makes the game a bit larger than life, too. In a nice, not too overstated way. Does it not be a smarter idea to take the... What in the world is the benefit of taking this extremely windy route that I'm taking right now? Instead of the straightaway. I'm not sure this was the right decision. I'm not entirely certain how these work mechanically, these races, in terms of, like, what makes your opponents spawn, for instance. So that you can try to pass them. Because that's really what it is. I guess you have to get far enough ahead of your other opponents so that the ones up ahead spawn as well, or something like that. It's a little strange. The way the mechanics work is also just a lot more plain to see when you have a traditional race. Ow. Weird. It gives you a rolling start when you respawn, but then it also doesn't let you have control for a second, and it doesn't hold the gas. So you end up losing some of the speed that you supposedly respawn with. I do prefer feeling less fragile like I do here, like that. On these big races. Like, yeah, I can flip over or something if I'm in a heavy vehicle and then respawn, but that's a harder fail state to get into than accidentally tapping a sign or whatever that barely reacts to your presence, if literally at all, in a heavy vehicle. I do feel like my strategy loadout-wise is just fairly good in this game so far. Generally picking a vehicle with good power, but that also has greatly upgraded handling. So I'm not wasting potential handling power by hitting the handling cap, but also on top of that, Dirk is taking the heavy road for some reason. Hey Dirk. I hear you have unique assets. Well, we've had those loaded now at least, which is good. I don't feel like this is the right way to be going. But, yeah, so it means I can power ahead of people on straightaways. You don't know how to preload, Dirk. Oh, there's Bernard up here. Oh, not so much for my point-free run. Is the ocean not a unique dude too? Either way, I think we'll manage just fine. But yeah, I can power ahead of people on straightaways, but also maneuver pretty comfortably around turns and whatnot as well. Okay, this is really awkward, this part, jeez. Should be able to power ahead of people again at this point. Man, this climb segment is really not too comfortable. Hopefully I'll get to push ahead a bit afterwards. Yeah, everyone's supposedly getting ahead of me here. No one else is taking this route, I notice. Am I just gonna jump ahead of it at the very, very end, or what? There's just like one straightaway left to do it on. I'm in 4th now. Jeez, that last part really... Okay, that last part completely ruined me. What the heck? I don't take that route, I guess. I was the only guy on it, and I lost 3 places from it. So much for following the signage saying, hey, your light vehicle, go this way. I was the only fool willing to listen to it. Likewise for this part. What in the world is the point here where the green path makes you do all sorts of stupid turns? Yeah, why would you not go this way? Look how much faster this is. What in the world? Like, yeah, it's some tough-ish terrain. And the game says, you go here now. Great, thank you. Look at these guys on the light road. Apparently the heavy roads are just the smarter ones to take in this particular place, though. I guess they try to make some of the green routes utilize that stronger handling that you have in the lighter vehicles, but why did I wipe out? I just landed on the ground. But it ends up being absolutely awful for you in reality, it feels like. You get more jumps and bumps, I guess, on the heavier routes, but you get absolutely ridiculous detours on the other ones. Great. That's the thing you guys can do to me. Yeah, it doesn't really feel worthwhile being a light vehicle here. Like, the obvious, these things are heavy and can push you around, does not work out in your favor, and you don't really have a whole lot to counter it, I don't feel like. Yeah, you're maneuverable, but these things can just, you know, drive well and be fast, and the fact that you maneuver around them in theory doesn't really matter in practice. I just need to remember at the end here... God, I hate these signs so much! These weren't a problem if I was in a heavy vehicle. But, I just need to remember to not take the light route towards the end. I don't know how to... I don't know if I can see the map. No, I can't see the map in big picture from here, annoyingly. Also, I'm still in 9th. This is not a good place to be this far into the race. Oh, come on! Side of your tire touched something. Boo-hoo. Nothing about that obligates you to just let go of your bike. Yeah. This is not feeling good. Apparently going this way now. Didn't really want to go this way. Come on, there's a path right here. Yeah, so the game doesn't get angry about you supposedly cutting corners and whatnot in this particular type of course. That's reassuring. You can cut stuff if you want. So let's see if I can get ahead this time on this part by taking the right path instead of falling way behind by doing the same thing. No, let's not go up. Get up on here. Get up on here. Come on. Oh, goodbye. Yeah, everyone else says this is the way to go, and for good reason, evidently. Took some effort to find my way up here, but the problem is the AI seems so far ahead of me at this point. I don't know if I can get them to spawn and then get ahead of them. There's just so much less stuff to do. Like, look how crazy winding the turns and whatnot are on the green path. The paths are not equal to a pretty ridiculous degree. So if I was ahead coming into this part instead of a lot further behind this time than I was, I think that would have worked. So we've got a plan now. But yeah, the game just goads you into taking really stupid paths. And the paths that aren't stupid are optimized for the heavy vehicles. This one right here, though, especially, the very first branch here offends me. Stop it! Stop hitting that! I hate how I just am at a disadvantage for not being allowed to touch these signs in a light vehicle versus a heavy one, too. I'm really convinced of heavy vehicle supremacy in this game at this point. In part, just, again, because they give you absolutely brain-dead paths for lots of the light paths in those cores. Paths where it would make absolutely no sense to take the light one that it tells you to take. Okay. There's some speed going in. Some of these paths are perfectly inoffensive, and those ones, the ones that don't have stupid twists and turns and whatnot, these ones are good to take on the light vehicle, because, or probably on any vehicle really, because they're nice good straightaways you can just fly down. Here is probably fine. Might be fine to take this path, I don't know if I've been down this one. Yeah, see, the heavy paths, when they're not just being obviously more efficient, they do have a tendency to... Nope. That's probably okay. But they do have a tendency to give you lots of really, like... what's the word for it? Supercross-esque hills to go over. Why? Why is it in a collision between an ATV and a dirt bike, the dirt bike wins? I think the game basically just says you're not allowed to knock NPCs over, but the NPCs can knock you over. I guess that was too cheap a thing that you could do all the time, even by accident back in Fury 3, but come on. It being even between me and my opponent at least felt fair. And your opponents could knock you over, and it would happen on occasion. But here, only your opponent's being able to knock you over, and not vice versa, feels really dumb and unfair. Especially when you get to the light versus heavy. Well, not for any vehicle. Like, I can't knock over someone on a bike if I'm in a heavier vehicle, but someone on a bike can knock me over if I'm in an ATV. Thankfully not if I'm in a heavy vehicle. Okay, this is where I need to start being careful about which path I'm taking, I think. Like, I'm actually pretty well poised in this race. I just need to not end up somewhere stupid. I think I need to specifically go up here, if I understand correctly. Because if I take that green path, I'm going to go off way to the right, and I guess I had a few more on-ramps onto this path, but still. If I take that green path, things are going to go very poorly for me. I mean, sure, I'm navigating bumps the whole time, too. I'm doing these tight turns on this particular path, but the amount of ground you have to cover is just so much smaller I don't know if I see any AI in the minimap either, actually. Maybe I'd be fine if I was. Hold up, come on. Don't tell about my opponent's forwards or anything here, come on. Maybe I would have been fine if I was on the green path too, I don't know. The green path just felt extraordinarily slow, even though the red path is fairly tough there. Oh, there's the no point run. Yeah, I had by 10 seconds still. Oh, okay. Also, that person became a rival too, apparently. Whatever you say. Cool. Oh, cool. More money. Alright, I'll do the sponsor stuff next time. Bye, everyone.